Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Konola Academy. Today we're going to be looking at the series 2 of choosing a research topic, and we're going to emphasize on how you formulate a research topic. We hope you have seen the last video. Please also like and subscribe to this as you watch. We have lined up subtopic for ease of understanding. We have lined up how you formulate a research topic, especially a researchable topic. We have also lined up how you determine the dependent and independent variable in a topic that is formulated, how you can affirm or confirm whether your topic is actually researchable. Then we will now decide on a topic for practical example. Basically, what is it to be for a topic to be a researchable topic? Basically, it means that for a topic to be researchable, it must possess it must comprise two basic items, as the case may be. Basically, there may be a third item, that is in the case of using what is known as a control variable. But basically, most research and researchable topic usually or conventionally have two basic items. Then secondly, these items are expected to have the features of being measured or assign measurable values to them. You can assign measurable values to the items or the ingredient that forms the dependent and independent variable if is in the case of a qualitative study. Going forward, the measures that the dependent and independent variable are supposed to have must have been tested or validated by authorities and scholars in the field. You can get this by reading a lot of related studies and research on the particular topic we'll end up formulating as we go on in the tutorial. Then number 4 is that it is not enough that you have tested or you have your items of the topic tested or validated. It must be accessible and reachable. You must be able to have a hands-on on those items that constitute the dependent and independent variable. Basically, what we are saying here is that the two main items that are expected to be included in a researchable topic is what is called, as you can see here on the number 5, is the dependent and independent variable. Dependent and independent variable. Now, going forward, what is dependent and independent variable? Specifically, every topic in research, especially if you talk about the social sciences, management sciences, and the likes, are expected to possess the item called dependent and independent variable. A dependent variable is often called the outcome or the output variable, the variable that is explained, the variable that is expected to be influenced by the input of 1 or 2 or 3 other items. And oftentimes, if you check most economics or econometrics textbooks, research textbooks, conventionally, dependent variable is often denoted by the symbol Y. Likewise, independent variable, as the case may be, is also known as the input variable, the variable that is expected to influence the outcome, which is the dependent variable. And likewise, in most research textbooks that you see globally, an independent variable is often denoted by the symbol X. So basically, wherever you see a y equals f, it is a function of x, it means that we are talking about a dependent variable, or it's a function of x. For more clarification, we can see from this figure that looking at this particular figure here, we can say this is the dependent variable, which expectedly, if it is influenced with this independent variable, as we see here, 1, 2, 3, and 4, are supposed to have this outcome. Now, all things being equal, as it is often said in economics, that most times rather, things are not equal. This is expected to be error time. It is possible that having tested all these four independent variables on these, you are still having a series of, ups and down, or positive or negative outcome, owing to this particular error term that is often included. Now, look, going forward, we can see that this figure here represents the dependent variable, as you can see, is the y, which is a function of the x1, x2, x3, and x4, and of course the error term, as you see here. So this represents the x1, this represents the x2, the x3, and the x4, and of course the error term. All of these are what is called the independent variables that are supposed to influence this dependent variable. Now, we said that it is not enough that you have dependent and independent variable in a topic that is formulated. It must be able, to possess the measurable capability. In other words, we say that for dependent and independent variable, especially when you're talking about quantitative kind of study, the variable must be measurable. The dependent or independent variable must be measured. Oftentimes, the kind of measure it takes either as it could be number, or it could be in percentage. When you have number, either in tens, in hundreds, and in thousands of it, and when you have the percentage in 10, 50%, as a case may be. Then secondly, you must possess the validation quality. What do we mean here? It means that when you have decided on what measure you are assigning to either your dependent or independent variable, this measure must have been affirmed in the literature by scholars and authority in the field, meaning that the item is ought to measure what it is meant to measure. Thirdly, to be sure that whether dependent or independent variables measure what it ought to be, it is essential that you must have read a couple of related studies to actually be sure that, or if you say it is this, okay, who other scholars have actually use that particular measure, and what is the reason for them using this particular measure. And number 4, and as such, dependent variable and independent variable must be accessible. We have said that earlier. You should be able to have an answer on where you can access these variables in your study before you even think of formulating your own particular topic. Having said this, then you can now decide to formulate your own topic. This is a practical example for ease of understanding. This topic says, does agricultural financing sustains economic growth? A case of Nigeria. And as you can see here, we have used this arrow to identify the independent variables and why these are the dependent variables. Point of note is that agricultural finance can be broken down into finance provision to cocoa, finance provision to livestock, and finance provision to grain. You agree with me that when you talk about finance, you are talking about amount that has been expended or that has been invested in agricultural finance, which can be measured. Likewise, when you talk about economic growth, can take a quite number of measurement depending on the intention or what you intend to achieve in your study. The GDP often is the gross domestic product, which measures the monetary value of all the goods and services that is produced in a country in a particular year. While the high GDP is a real gross domestic product, when this has taken into cognizance the the um, the input or the presence of inflation in the GDP that's been so provided, sorry, there, and the GDP per capita, as the case may be, measuring GDP over the population of the country. So this also would depend on the nature of course, the what you intend to achieve in your study. And this is another topic that is actually placed here for practice. So, monetary policy and the management of inflation in Sweden. You can decide to use this as a practice, decide what constitute the dependent and independent variable in this particular topic, and list them out and see whether you have been able to understand the essence of the study. Please like us, subscribe to us, and please share this video. Thank you. Bye bye. God bless.